Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been very many years since I have filmed a YouTube video, and I have no idea, but I have no idea why, but I was very much called to film today. It's been something I've been wanting to get back into, and I was having just one of those like, fuck it, let's do it moments. So I'm using mostly my own cards today. So if you connect with them, if you vibe with them, if enough people like them, maybe I'll release some of them. But this is the Mushroom Tarot, and it is just the major arcana, so we'll be using this later. I have some oracle cards, and actually I'm going to move these down here. We're going to start today with the tarot. And I don't know, maybe I'm connecting with this collective that is kind of having like a fuck it moment, of like, I can't be trapped where I am anymore kind of moment. So that could definitely be part of this message, but I feel like this, like it's like nervousness, it's like anxiety. I'm not one to normally like get nervous or short of breath on camera really anymore, but it's like I can't catch my breath. So somebody might be anxiously awaiting something, or I'm getting this feeling of like stalking inside of a cage. Like I feel like I'm caged inside of my life. So if that resonates with anyone, that could be a big factor. So let's kind of dive into that. Like what's going on with this collective in relation to that feeling? I think I'm actually okay. We have 8 of spring in this deck, is 8 of swords. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There's this feeling in 8 of swords in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot that has, you know, it's like you're blindfolding yourself. You are keeping yourself from the riches that abound you. If you see this image, you know, that I've chosen, there's this beautiful waterfall of like flowing energy, beauty all around her. And there's even like, you know, a rose in her mouth, but she can't see any of that because she has continued to place the blindfold on herself. So there's definitely this energy of, I think for the general collective, it's sort of like, for most of you, it's very much, you're very aware that you are sort of doing this to yourself. I don't say that lightly. I think it is something that it's hard for you to have realized. You still feel very trapped. You don't really necessarily see a way out, but you still feel like it's hard to change. It's hard to change is a big message I'm getting. It's hard to change. 5 of spring. So 2 swords cards here. 5 of spring for me, or 5 of swords energy. It's very much that like, let me pull some more cards because something is unfolding here. Oh, okay. 9 of Pentacles, and this came out upside down. So there is a message here. There is, I think, belief that your desires are not achievable because of the status quo, because of what is the traditional route is not what is for you. It is not what you want to take. And you feel like that is unrealistic for you specifically. There's this, your ability is mismatched with your belief in yourself. And it probably comes from a plethora of places outside of like what traditionally is imposed upon us. Maybe what family and friends have told you, maybe experiences you've had of failure in the past. Like maybe you have failed a business plan or working for yourself, but there is this deep, yeah, we have 10 of swords on the bottom. There is this deep desire, right? That kind of feels like a pipe dream to you, potentially, or just like a silly dream, or maybe even something that like you desired as a child. And you were like, when I grow up, I'm going to be this. And it's something that sort of followed you through your whole life. And I'm getting kind of emotional about it. It's something that means a lot to you. And I think there is this fear of failure because in the past, you have failed. And there is a message here of the failure was not, the failure was not, and it's not an example of how you should not and cannot believe in yourself. You failed not because you are inherently bad at whatever it is you wanted to do. It seems like you failed because your heart wasn't in it, because it wasn't for you, because it's not really what you wanted. And so it was difficult to really put that full energy, that full commitment into this business, or it could even be something like schooling, something. Oh, let's grab this other card. Yeah. And we have 8 of Cups. So this is something you know. This is something you are aware of. This is something you know you need to walk away from. You want to walk away from it, but you have this fear, right? This fear is coming up of like, you want to be kind of this boss ass bitch. You want to create this life for yourself, or create this, or follow your dreams, follow your heart kind of thing. You want to believe in yourself. You want to be the star of your own show. And you need to walk away from this fear, the what ifs, the what if I can't, what if I fail. There's a lot of fear holding you back from taking the next step, which is, I want everyone to know too, like, fear is real. Like, it's not something that's like, no, none of these messages come across as like, you should feel foolish for being afraid, or, you know, you would have had everything if you would have just not been afraid by now. Because that's not how feelings work. That's not how emotions work. That's not how life works. We don't learn to suddenly be afraid. We have to go through life experiences that teach us slowly that the things we're afraid of are not as scary as we built up in our minds, right? So walking away from this fear doesn't look like just one day you wake up and you decide you're not going to be afraid anymore. It looks like tangible evidence in the past, seeking tangible evidence from the past, or even taking baby steps to prove to yourself that you are not what it is your brain tells you, that you're not a failure, that you don't fail everything you try, that there's nothing out there that has ever felt right for you. There's something you know. And I think for some of you, it's hard because it's not a traditional career, or it's not a traditional path, right? It doesn't have to be career related, though I am getting mostly a career vibe. But for some of you, it might just be a lifestyle, like choosing to live off the grid, or choosing to be like polyamorous, something like that. That is not a traditional like lifestyle, right? And so there is this fear, right? And for some of you, it might be relational, or relational to relationships. So like you are like, every time I've tried this with other people, it hasn't worked out. And so there's definitely some digging, some detective work needed surrounding this fear. It's not just going to be like you wake up and you decide that you're not going to be afraid anymore. It is that you are going to take baby steps to prove that this fear is unfounded, or at least not as severe as it feels, right? That the way we feel about something might not align with the reality. And so proving that to yourself is very important in order to work through this and move forward, because if we just blast through and ignore the fear, we might end up in the same cycle, or we might end up giving up the second we hit our first roadblock. We need to strengthen ourselves, right? We need to to have armor of lived experience, armor of deconstructing that internal noise, right? So deconstructing or not deconstructing, like working through and meeting yourself where you are and learning to separate the feelings from the reality that we've already lived or that we have faith in even. I'm gonna pull one more of these. Look at that, star. You are the star, girl. Like, this is like, listen, I think, and that's part of what is like about this reading that is so, I'm trying to line up my cards here by using my camera. I'm sorry, guys. See how this nine of pentacles is right in the middle, and you are stealing this potential joy from yourself. And I don't mean that in a way that's like, you know, you need to get up, get off your ass and get moving, though if that helps some of you, and that might be true for some of you, but that's not the vibe here. The vibe is that you are the creator. Like, you have the ability to do the things you desire. And I just saw 11:11 on the clock, as on the timer, as I was on my camera, as I was saying that. You are the creator. Like, you are the star, you are the main character. It's time for you to live that life. And the main character isn't someone who disregards everyone else from their life. Let's see what's on the bottom here. Yeah. 10 of Cups. This is something that is so deep within you. It is like your joy, your greatest wish, your greatest desire. And I think that's why it's so scary, right? Is for a lot of you, it's just like, it's meant so much to you for so long that it's hard to just go all in. And this isn't a reading of like, if you go all in, you're guaranteed to be successful, right? Because I think that's the thing, is like, you are guaranteed to be successful if you set yourself up for success. And I think that's the important part of this reading. It's not that, you know, you can go in blindly and you will find yes, 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 you're gonna win, win, win. It's that there is some kind of difficult shit ahead that involves you, bottom of the deck, I didn't even shuffle these yet, surrendering to the fear and working with it and working through it and working through the reality versus the feelings. I'm not saying you won't be successful, because I fully believe, I mean, you're the star. We've got the star, we've got the 10 of Cups, we have, you know, fulfilled wishes on the table, and I shuffled those very well. But it's more about the journey, right? And it's, for some of you, I think that's why that message is important, that like, I think for some of you, the desire has become so blown out of proportion because it is to you just a dream. So there might be a more grounded version of that dream that you need to discover on the way of really working through this fear of like, you know, like, what is the more grounded version of that dream? I'm not saying don't shoot for the stars and don't be like delusional. Go for it. Go for your biggest dream ever. But I think that for some of you along the way, you will find something that really resonates with you more than the bigger dream. And I think that it's important not to disregard that when you're going for the delusional dream, right? Like, if you want to go to Hollywood and along the way you find out that like maybe this industry doesn't really vibe with me yet, or like I don't like living in LA, or I don't like you know, the community or the type of people. Maybe you'll find something smaller, maybe you'll find local theater, maybe you'll go to a different country and decide to pursue acting there. You know what I mean? So don't give up on the big dream, and don't act like you need to pare down that big dream. Just be open to the idea that if this dream doesn't feel 100% right based on what you had envisioned maybe as a child, which is kind of the biggest part, that there is probably something that fits better. And when it fits, it will click, you will feel it. But even that inkling of that dream can be really important. So you should follow it. And regardless of whether or not the big dream is the thing you achieve, the journey of working through that fear will follow you through the rest of your life. It will be something that you can utilize now as a skill whenever you come up against something that scares you, or come up against something that's new, or something that felt impossible. You have this now proof. Hey, I did this thing I thought was impossible, that I thought I could never do, that I thought would stay a dream. And now I know that I can do the next thing that I think that in the past I would have just thought would have to stay a dream. All to say, you are capable of more than you think, and the dream can be your reality if you so desire. Hello, Benny. Okay, let's grab some of these cards. My cat has joined us, and I'm just making sure if he wants to leave the room, he can leave the room, because otherwise he'll start yelling because I'm not paying attention to him. Okay, we have Ignite, yes. And here's the thing. There is all this trepidation, there's all this fear, but once you get started, you will take off. And that's the thing. I think whatever it is that you're afraid of, you are building up inside your brain, and it is so much more worse inside your brain than it is in reality. And that's an important thing to remember. How many times in the past, and this is an important potential exercise you can do, how many times in the past have you not wanted to do something? Say it was something small, like go to a party or leave the house, and once you were out of the house, it was one of the best times of your life. Or you had to give a presentation or give a speech and you were terrified, but once you went and did it, it was successful and you had a great time. Or you helped people, you touched people's lives. Benny, can I help you? Can I help you? Do you need to leave? You can leave. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, how many times have you done something and then once you were finished with it, you realized it was not nearly as bad as you had made it out to be in your head, right? It was entirely terrible before you did the thing, but after you did the thing, it was fine, and maybe even a good thing. That's the kind of stuff this Fill Out Create. I am getting major creative vibes. But as I was saying, that's the kind of stuff you need to, you can prove yourself wrong with that kind of stuff. So let me grab a couple more of these. Okay, we have Rebirth, and I'm gonna grab one more actually. Okay, two came out together. So we have Focus and Direction. Okay, so we have creatives here. Welcome, creatives. I love you all. And if you don't think you're creative, you probably are. But that's a time for a different story. A story for a different time? I don't know. So we have Direction and Focus that came out together. And that's the thing. There is a direction you want to head in. And part of the reason why it's been so difficult is because it's hard to focus, right? If you don't feel like you can do the thing you want to do. If you feel like you're incapable of doing the thing you want to do. And Rebirth, Create, Direction, Focus, Ignite. There is something big on your horizon. And I think once you work through this fear, there will be this sort of phoenix moment, this rebirth moment. And I think some of you who are creatives maybe feel the need to constantly be creating. You don't feel like you have direction if you're not constantly creating. You feel like maybe you're not a real creative if you're not constantly creating. Can I help you? I need you to leave if you're gonna behave like this. Are you hungry? Okay, I don't know if that's relatable to you. It's possible that some of you maybe have a lot of distractions in your life, or people who rely on you. Could be a big part of why Benny is acting out like you feel like part of the reason why you have failed at the things you desire is because you feel like you're constantly interrupted. Let me pull a couple of these. I guess some final messages, some clarity. Because here's the thing. I feel like there's very much this big message of like, this fear is what's holding you back. But once you work through this fear, it's kind of just like, once you set out on the path, once you have the direction and you're focused because you've worked through this fear, things will just take off. Take off. You'll be like so amazed. You'll look back and be like, did I really do all of this? I created this. This is something I did. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm gonna pick 2 different ones. Let's see. See. I did 2 of 2 to start. We'll see what happens. He was sleeping when I started this, so not anymore. Okay. Oh, can I get one more, please? I'll pick that up in a second. I would pick him up and show you, but he does not like to be handled like that, so. Okay. Yeah, we have Justice and the Tower. I see the Tower being, a lot of people see the Tower very negatively, but in this reading, I'm seeing the Tower as like total upheaval of your life by choice, right? And that might be where some of the fear is coming from. You know that in order to do this dream, you would have to change everything, right? You would have to take steps that maybe would force you to move away from your friends and family, or do things that go against advice that they've given you or advice that you've been given in general. You might have to be, go back to school. You might have to just start fresh. There's something here about like having to shake up your whole life. And that is part of where the fear comes from. But there's this Justice card. And to me, this Justice card very much screams like justice for yourself, right? Like, it's time for you to give back to yourself. I'm getting what you've given other people. So a lot of people here today might be people who really give a lot to others or haven't focused on themselves. And maybe that's part of this, is like, you've been wanting to fulfill this dream for so long that you've kind of just settled not doing so because it would involve blowing your life up a little bit. Yeah, I am going to pick one last card. We'll see if there's any other messages here today. This Justice card there's 2 eyes on the trunk of this tree here. And one is closed and one is open. So it kind of feels like you've been living through life, with one eye open. Like you have not really been fully aware of your surroundings, or like you've just kind of settled and you're like, okay, well, this is what I'll do forever now. Like I'll work this corporate job and it'll help, my family. Okay, the final card I pulled is the High Fae, and this is a card that's unique to this deck. So I'm going to read from the book here. Okay. I love this deck. I need to get the full deck one day, but okay. Let's see. The High Fae. So let me hold it up. High Fae are the active ends of the mycelia fibers that grow the mycelium underground, inside a host, or reach up past the dirt and grow the fruiting bodies. Use this card to focus on nourishing your own growth and power. Think on the infinite complexity and beauty within yourself and reflect on the major arcana reading with that wild power in mind. Okay, this is what I'm saying. And there is so much within you that you are not allowing, I was going to say not allowing the world to see. It's possible that the people in your life actually do see you this way. I don't think you're letting yourself see it. You're not letting yourself see yourself in the grand beauty that you contain, in the multitudes, in the depth that you contain. You are more than just what is seen above the surface, but you are also more than the way you're living your life now, right? There is so much more expansion out there for you. And I think that is something that you've really wanted for a very long time. And this is a point in your life where your unhappiness or your decision to settle is really starting to upset you, or is something that you really, really want to change. So yeah, I would implore you really to sit down and kind of figure out what it is that has been stopping you. And more, I mean internal factors. There are obviously usually external factors that stop us from pursuing things, but what has been keeping you feeling stuck internally? What is that fear? What are those things you've been telling yourself when it comes to this dream? Like, or when it comes to failure, or when it comes to settling? Really write down some of those things so you can start to actively combat those with examples, real world, real life examples of times where that was just untrue. And sometimes it can just be eye-opening to the way our subconscious has sort of internalized, the way we've internalized things, right? Like, we might not even know that we've been calling ourselves a failure, or if that has been a block for us, because we have never said it out loud, we've never written it down, we've never examined our life in a way where that's been obvious to us. And that's totally normal and totally fine. And so this might even just be eye-opening in ways that you can start to cultivate a better relationship with yourself. So yeah, you guys have, and I don't want to say so much potential, because to me, I feel like that is something that maybe you have heard before. And it's a way that has been a way people have illustrated disappointment in you, or like you've had so much potential, or maybe a way you've even felt disappointed in yourself. Like, I've been told my whole life I've had so much potential, so where is it? And so yeah, it's time for you to really dig deep and confront those fears and focus on not what potential it is that you've been missing out on, but what is it that you want? Because that's what matters now. That's what's important now. What do you want? What thing that feels ridiculous to you, or feels ridiculous to the world around you? What is it that big, strong desire that feels insane, that feels crazy, that feels out of reach? What is that for you? And go for it. Go for it. It's your time. You're the star, girl. Go for it. That's what I'm saying for you. Thank you so much for being here for this reading. It was really nice to read again after a very long time, and my goal is to hopefully do this every week or several times a week if I feel called to it. But I just really felt like the collective needed this. I think maybe I needed this too. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.